Roy?
Yes.
Anytime, go ahead.
All right. If you're ready, we will call the meeting to order. Jen, would you take roll, please?
Commissioner Johnson?
Here.
Commissioner Thill?
Here.
Commissioner Waldner?
Here.
Commissioner Corbin?
Here.
And Mayor Lindsay?
Here. You have before you the agenda for this evening.
Motion to approve the agenda. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Seeing no appearances or acknowledgements, is there anything anyone wants removed from the consent calendar? If not, do we have a motion?
I'll move to approve the consent calendar.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Seeing no old business, under new business, bid number 864, approved specs and set a bid date for the demolition project 2017-4. And I'll ask Chad to address that.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor, and members of the Commission. This is the bidding of the demolition of what was the former Wink building. The agenda packet includes the advertisement for bids, recommending a bid date of August 9th, 2017 at 3 p.m. There are some remaining chemical items remaining to be mitigated or removed in the property. Brad Lawrence is working on those. We have included a clause in this contract bidding document such that if there's any delays in the contractor until we can get those chemicals out, we add those days to the end of the work period, so to speak. I would prefer to wait until everything is taken care of, but I know there's a lot of interest in trying to proceed, but it could be mitigated. Those could be taken care of within the next month or so, which could be about as much time as it takes to get through the actual advertising, bid award, notice to proceed, contract bid bonds, and performance payment bonds, insurance, and so on. So Brad and I talked about this, thought we could go ahead and proceed, provided we have a clause in there so the contractor knows he won't be harmed by any delays, so to speak. If we tell him he has to wait until we get that taken care of and it takes another 2 months, we add that on to the end of the contract.
If it's our fault, they shouldn't be.
Right.
Yep.
And I think contractors would be satisfied with that. Some may,
Yep.
some may not. I did visit with a few to see what their reaction would be to that, and they thought it seemed reasonable. I'm planning to include a completion date of November 24th this year.
One quick question on that,
Yeah.
Chad, is, with that being the 24th, obviously right by the Thanksgiving holiday, if we would have to add those days, we can add them on like the next week. Obviously,
It could be the
with
next
that
week.
holiday there.
It
Just
would be,
so we're fair.
Yeah, that's a good question. The contractor typically set up for calendar days. They get
Okay.
so many calendar days. So how we've worded it is that from the date of the notice to proceed, whatever delays we cause between there and actual authorization to proceed based upon chemicals or whatever, say it's 2 weeks, those would be added right on past the 24th.
Okay.
Holidays and weekends and everything are sort of balled into calendar days, and the contractor knows that going in, that he can't work federal holidays, he can't work Sundays. Can't remember how this one's written for Saturdays. But now the only other thing related to that, say the contractor makes a request to suspend work, and we agree due to weather conditions. Say the 15th of November, we get a blizzard and work's done. If we suspend work, then they get that time. Presumably, they get that time between November 15th. This example that I'm saying, between November 15th and November 24th, plus any of those extra days that were delayed because of the chemicals for this example. And if he wants to resume it in the spring.
Okay.
So, just trying to get this out there into bidders' hands. So, other couple key things related to this. We are incorporating, I've consulted with the Public Works Department, an option that if they have trucks available and time available, they can be loaded to haul material to the restricted use site. And then we receive a credit per load for that. That would not include loading any rubble or heavy rubble or concrete, brick, and things like that that may damage our trucks. We're not telling the contractor we can do any of that. If they have an alternative disposal site restricted, other than our restricted use site. Some contractors may have the capability of taking concrete type debris to their other facilities other than the restricted use site. There are some minor asbestos precautions, I guess you could say, that are required to be done, accomplished in there. Though we've incorporated those in there. We're removing the walls and footings, including in the basement. We're planning to leave the floor and just pulverize that and then fill on top of that. If there is any excavation on site, I've talked with the DENR. Unless it's contaminated or there's other issues with it, that won't be hauled off site, so we won't be paying to haul that away. We would put that into the to-be-filled areas at the bottom of those, and then the pit run type material would be come in on top of that. And then we're going to leave the site about 8 inches low. We'll still provide positive drainage because the site does slope slightly from west to east, if I recall correctly. We'll leave it low so the potential future owners can bring in topsoil if they want, or if they want gravel and asphalt, or whatever subsequent owners may want of that.
Or if we put a park or something there.
Or if we put a park there,
whatever,
you know,
we
we
can
can
plant grass.
Right, no reason to fill it up with pit run and gravelly surface and then dig it back out to
Yeah.
put topsoil in or whatever.
Pay to put it in and pay to take it back out.
Yep. So that's a little bit about how we put this together.
I have a question, Chad. You're going to award the bids on the 14th of August, and you're not going to let the contractor start until the 28th? Why is that?
It's likely awarded on the 14th because the bid date will be on the 9th. The 14th is the next Monday. Once it's awarded, the contractor has to get his insurance certificate, he has to get his bonds, and he has to sign them and send those over to us. They have to be reviewed by the attorney. If you'll notice, it said likely notice to proceed date. If he can turn those around sooner, we'll do it sooner.
Okay.
Sounds good. Anybody else have any questions?
How is, Chad, how's the contamination determined?
There's been some work done on the site back prior to the city owning it that had monitored and checked different components of the site. We don't anticipate there'll be problems with what I described as far as excavation, placing it back in the bottom, but you never know what you find until you start digging. The only outstanding environmental item, if you will, that I'm aware of, I guess there are two of them. One of them I already talked about. There's a tank that you may or may not be aware of that needs to be subsequently addressed with some specialists. Mr. Lawrence is working on that. But then the other one would be the asbestos that I mentioned earlier. There's one room that was collapsing, and we couldn't get it all mitigated due to the structural issues with the building. So.
Yeah, I recall when there was some preliminary work done looking at possible contamination. If we don't run into any more concerns other than the asbestos, which we know about, and the tank was all clear and we can out safely, will those tests that were done previously, will we be able to use those that demonstrate that it's clear? Or we have to
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the prior owner shared those with us, and we have those. So those can be used as evidence, if you will, towards.
Yeah, that's what justified it. It's clear. Yeah. Okay. And then on the truckload that the works out that Public Works ends up out, and if you end up referring to the Public Works option, that premium or that what you call it, is determined use?
That ask the contractor to include in his bid a credit per
Okay.
load.
So they
For
will-
that,
they'll
so-
let us know as part of the bid.
Correct.
What they would give for credit on that, if they choose that option.
Well, I guess I would describe it this way. The base bid includes the demolition, some minor testing to make sure it's density, some subsequent owners or ourselves want to know that it won't settle. And then the pit run. Those are the 3 bid items. That
What was the last one?
pit run, it's a filled material. So those would include the removal of the material. So that's going to be a price A, for example, this number. And then we told the contractor, give us a price per load credit. And if we haul, I just selected 100 loads. We thought that may be a number to start with. We're consulting with our public works. Whatever they put on the price, we'd multiply that credit times per load credit times 100, and that would come off the bid price, and that would be the evaluation price.
Okay.
So if our crews end up doing 100 loads, it would be right at what we estimated. If they can do 150, it would be a greater deduct. If they can only do 10, it would be less of a deduct, and we'd have more cash out, so to speak.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to seeing what the bids will be,
Yeah,
if nothing else.
definitely.
Any other questions? Are we good to go for a vote?
I'll make a motion, we advertise, approve the specs of, and set bid date for demolition project 2017-4.
Bob's ready to tear that building down.
Yeah, he is.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Jen, would you do roll call, please?
Commissioner Thel,
Aye.
Commissioner Waldner,
Aye.
Commissioner Johnson,
Aye.
Commissioner Corbin,
Aye.
and Mayor Lindsay.
Yes, aye. Okay, all right, motion passes. Seeing no other new business, no announcements, no executive session, do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Mayor.
We will see you soon. Alrighty, bye-bye.